am live. Wait for the picture to get up there on the YouTube. Here it comes, and welcome, YouTube, to Behind the Channels Live Special UK Edition. Any of you that follow me know that I do this on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. over here on the East Coast of the U.S. And we decided to try a UK edition to see if we could get a few viewers from the UK and maybe get some of our UK viewers up on the panel. Good afternoon, Granny and Snobby. Yes, Granny, I am alive. My doctor's appointment was just to get a note to get me so I don't have to do the mandatory overtime that they are now requiring at work. I'm not afraid of work, but with the back problems that I currently have, I don't really wish to work a lot of overtime. So it wasn't anything of great. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. Good afternoon. I almost said good evening. The folks, this is really different for me. Good evening, hot mess, Missy. Ralph Morick is not home yet, so it's a good thing I started at least 15 minutes later than I had planned on. Ralph Morick is going to be my co-host, folks. Hunting and Stuff with J&J had prior commitments, um, so he couldn't be with us this afternoon. And Ralph Morick has graciously accepted the role of being my co-host today. And as soon as he gets up here and we get a few more people in, well, there is Hunting and Stuff with J&J as I speak. Thank you for sharing it out, John. It is much appreciated. But as soon as Ralph Mort gets around and we get a few more people in here, we will get started with this afternoon's show. And this is very weird doing this in the afternoon, I must say. I think I already know who at least one of my UK interviews is going to be today. He's already in our chat. I believe we will be bringing up Snobby Scrap Picker um, on our special UK edition. Maritza Maldonado. Good afternoon, or it is evening there in the UK. Yes, Snobby is having dinner, but Snobby, as you know, this is a 1 hour show, and if you can't eat your dinner within 1 hour, then I don't know what. Yeah, for those that don't know, I was informed today that the hurricane is actually headed up the coast, and it's now going over towards Nova Scotia, Canada. And tomorrow we are going to get some high winds and heavy rains because we're going to be on the outskirts of the hurricane. So we're going to get some high winds and heavy rains off of that here in the northeast of the United States tomorrow. I'm sure that nothing will happen up here, and hopefully, if it hits Nova Scotia, it has calmed down and is not nearly as devastating as it was to the Bahama Islands. Onion rice again. Snobby Scrap Picker has been eating onion rice. This is the third time this week, I believe he said, and he is going to need. Um, he's going to have to make his wife lose that recipe, I think. Cooking and Stuff with Mama Dawn. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Bubble Biss, how are you doing this evening as it pertains to over there with in your neck of the world? Which is what this special UK edition for. It is for our UK viewers so that more of our UK viewers can see this and may even be able to come up on panel and showcase their channel and themselves, because this is behind the channels and we really we love the channels and we want to learn about the channels, but we really want to learn about the people themselves. Uh, Missy told by park officials abandon RV and head for shelter if the wind gets too bad. Well, I say you ride it out and just be like Dorothy in Oz. That could be very interesting. We have along with some of the usuals in here today, and hopefully we can get some of our UK viewers in here also. And our intentions for this special UK edition is we're going to try it for probably a few weeks, and if it is somewhat successful, then we will continue with it. Um, and if not, then it'll probably fizzle out into the background. But we thought we'd give it a try to help some of our UK folks over there. Good afternoon, MD Outdoors. How is your day going along today? Mama Dawn in there giving Snobby a hard time. Snobby's going to have rice coming out his nose pretty soon. Good evening, Dusty. How are you doing? Pocketbook got snagged on hitch. Soaking wet now. She made it. Well, thank God you made it, Missy, and thank. Hopefully the weather won't get too rough there, and you won't have to abandon ship and head for hurricane shelter and stuff. So our thoughts will be with you as they are with everybody else that has been affected with this pretty severe hurricane that is running around the world. And let's see what else. Well, if if Dusty Blonde is interested, I have a really nice homemade Chinese fried rice recipe that I could send her. Ah, heading west to your hunting property. Well, that sounds like a fun idea. I had plans tomorrow to actually go off and do some fishing, some salmon fishing tomorrow. But with my wife, it being our anniversary, um, she was preferring that I stay and we go do something together. But now that I have heard the weather, um, it may be that we are just going to spend the day home tomorrow because the weather's supposed to get bad. Wouldn't be good for going down on the coast, which is what we thought of doing, going down on the coast and eating some lobster and stuff like that. But if we're going to get that, then we don't want to. And I really don't want to be out, waist deep in the water with a hurricane on my butt either. So, not sure what our plans are going to be. Thank God our anniversary is Sunday and it should have cleared out by then. So, Mama Dawn said something to me somewhere. I thought she did. What am I missing? Uh, well, I guess I missed something. I thought I saw something that would. Somebody said that they would like to have that recipe. Hello, Carol. How are you doing today, Carol? Fried rice recipe. Yep. Oh, All right, yeah, I will get that out. It's actually a really simple recipe, but I will get that out, or I will, follow suit and do a video, um, and give you the recipe that way. Well, happy early birthday, MD. Gappa Haynes. Good. It's in the middle of the night for Gappa, so we are still waiting on Ralph Mort to head home. I don't know how long it'll be, but I guess I can. Whoops, I gotta actually copy the link here. If anybody would like to join me up here and be my first guest on the UK edition of Behind the Channels, the link is in the chat. Yeah, 3 a.m. Yeah, we was discussing that yesterday, and this isn't the best time for you either. If you're down in Australia, it's in the middle of the night for you, and I apologize. Sorry, folks. I keep looking over there. The For those that don't do a live stream, the uh, the video on YouTube is behind what it is on the StreamYards, but in retrospect, the live chat in the StreamYards is also behind what it is in YouTube. I guess it takes a little while for them to talk to each other. So that's why I keep looking over there to see if I have not seen any comments that have coming up through yet. It's the sun's fault. Yeah, maybe we can get a couple tugboats and pull Australia north or something. So if any of you folks have any of your subscribers or friends that are out in the UK, please share this out with them so they may get the opportunity to come on over here and get their channel shown up here on Behind the Channels Special UK Edition. So it popped. Good afternoon, Mr. Mess Hall. Um, yeah, we're not sure what it is, Bubble. This we actually think it's because I have like a 720p integrated webcam that I'm using may also be the problem. So I've also ordered me a 1080p webcam and I've been told that that will help also clear up the mess because this really isn't a reflective surface. Um, we a few of us have got together and came to the conclusion that it's my low quality webcam that is built into my all-in-one PC that may be causing this. So I should have a new camera within a week or so, and hopefully it'll clear this up. We are still waiting on Ralph. You tweeted this. Thank you very much, Hot Mess Missy. It is greatly appreciated. I always forget to do that. And just as a side note, for those that may be amused by this while we're waiting for Ralph to show up or somebody to pop up on the panel, um, I was on my way home today, and part of the reason why I had to move this 15 minutes is that I was pumping gas. And all of a sudden, I hear this, "Excuse me, sir." And I turned around, and there's a state trooper standing there. He pulled me over at the gas pumps. And he wrote me out a warning for having an invalid inspection sticker. Good afternoon, Gil Skills. How are you doing this fine day? But yes, I was pulled over while I was pumping gas. And while he was running my license and stuff, I went inside to pay for my gas, and the owner of the store asked me if I was pumping my gas too fast. Good afternoon, Nomadic Bike. How are you doing today, my friend? We are still currently waiting for Ralph Moore to show up. However, I am posting the link in the chat, and anybody that would like to be a guest on this special UK edition of Behind the Channels can go ahead and click on that, and we can go ahead and get this show started. Thank you, Whispering Cauldron, for sharing this out. It is greatly appreciated. No, I did not tell the trooper that I was a YouTube superstar, but while I was fishing for my license and stuff, I did tell him that he cheated. And he asked what I meant by that. And I said, "You didn't pull me over." And he said, "Well, you didn't." He said, "You pulled in here to hide from me." And it appears that we now have our first guest. And his name is, hello, Gaffa Haynes.
There you go. Should I have a Pommy accent?
Excuse me, you're coming in really low here. Is that me or is that
That's my mic.
you didn't have your mic?
Would you like me to use an English accent?
You may use any accent that you would like.
Oh, good, because I'm not good at the English accent. How you doing today, sir?
Where is? I'll bring up your channel. Well, you're quite experienced with the whole StreamYard.
Yes.
So what I like to do, it is up to you. With people that are experienced at using StreamYard, I would rather you bring the channel up yourself, and that way there you can flow through it the way that you want to, and not have to follow along with what I'm doing.
What channel's that, mine or yours?
Yeah, no, your channel. This is all about you.
Well, actually, there's not much to my channel. I'm just a streamer who likes to talk to people, and occasionally I will do what you're doing, which is have a stream and we just get a few people in. I'm quite happy to put my channel up in chat if people want to, but they're also quite all right for them to click on my name and go to my channel from there. I'm not sure I've got anything available at the moment because I have been modifying what's on my channel a little bit. So I'm down to only a few videos at the moment. But yeah, by all means, folks, you want to check out my channel? There's the link. Predominantly, I started off as a YouTuber to better myself with model railroad. So my YouTube was actually um, originally just to find other people who were doing model railroad, see how they were going about doing it, because I'd only just started getting into model railroad basically end of last year. my YouTube channel has been going for a lot more longer than that, because I've been watching YouTube left, right, and centre. But to actually interact with other people, um, I yeah, I started looking at other YouTubers that were doing model railroads, and actually found a rather nice community out there. And then I started getting into live stream, because that's roughly when live stream started as well. And I got interested in live streaming, and then live streaming, I got in touch with other groups that were doing live streaming, the Redneck Connections, Udizzy, and Hazy Days, and a few other people. I've come across you, and yeah, I just like to chat to people. That's all it is. I just like to get together, have a bit of a chat.
I get a kick out of your about section here. It says, "Please do not subscribe." I get nothing.
Yeah, got nothing. Yeah,
But
I mean, I'm not in this for subscribers. I mean, as I said before, I thank the people who have subscribed to me. I appreciate the support. I'm overwhelmed by the support, actually. But the reality is, I got nothing. I'm a YouTuber that have helped other YouTubers get to where they are by showing them Hangouts, by showing them StreamYards. I've helped other YouTubers to start merchandise on Teespring and get that out there so that they can start trying to sell themselves to the public and everything else. Um, I just basically, it's all I ever do is help and watch YouTube. Yeah, I got nothing. That's basically all there is to it.
well, I know we had touched on this yesterday during another live stream, and you had said you told us about the direction that you want to your channel into, though.
Yeah, I never really wanted to be so well known on YouTube. That wasn't my goal. That wasn't even something I even considered. Even now, it just overwhelms me that everywhere I go, people go, "Oh, look, there's Gaffo, there's Gaffo, there's Gaffo," and it blows my mind that that's happened. I still would like to have a model railroad channel, but you've seen it yourself. There's so much live on my channel. It's just overtaken it, and it's no longer for model railroading. So I do have another channel where it's wholly and solely nothing but model railroading.
You just
Every video that I do, I put it up on there. I've
feel
only got two at
absolutely.
the moment, so
I was gonna say, feel absolutely free to also post along that link if you would like, and I'll
yeah,
actually click on it because I did not know that you had another channel that existed.
yeah. I'd started one since trying to separate my chats from my hobby, um, and basically just to I was really goaded in by a friend in the model railroad community. He said, "Put up some content. You've got subscribers now. Give them something to have a look at." So basically, all I've done is just videoed what I've built myself in my time of just doing this hobby, and stuck videos up on the channel. They originally were with my channel I've got now, but they got lost in all this live streaming I did. So I moved them over to a channel of their own, a little bit more relevant to what it is that I am doing in my model railroad. So I'll just grab the link there.
It,
Quite
it
happy to put it into chat.
I'm not to find it interesting because when I was a young fella, my father had a friend that was really into model railroad, and when you went into his basement, it was full. And I, for the most part, was a good kid, and I wouldn't break things, so he would allow me to go down there and let me play with the train and let it run and do that things. Um, but that's about all I know of it. But it is really cool because you showed us the other day some little figures that you had gotten for your
Yep,
railroad stuff, and it's amazing the detail that goes
yep,
into that stuff.
yep. See, the original thing was my wife said to me, "You need a hobby. You need something to pass your time, something to do. Just when you've had a little bit too much of everything else, you want to be able to go find some. I said, I really wouldn't mind having a model railroad. So let's look at that. So we got one, got it all set up, and then it kind of bit me. And I'm going, the best part of model railroading is not the running of the trains and the building of the track. That's not what I find the fun. Even though, don't get me wrong, I love to watch the trains go around. I love trains. I go ride on as many as I can get my hands on. But it's the building of the structures and the actual development of the layout is where I'm into doing model railroading. So
Now, of course, when you finish up something and it's always going to be a feeling of achievement. But for you, is it a feeling of achievement or a feeling of pride the way it came out, or what does that basically what does it give you?
the problem is I'm a creator,
Hmm.
and working with my hands is the way I do most of my creating. But I'm also a creator up here. So I don't just have models building and satisfaction out of building the models. My OCD doesn't allow me to finish anything outright. There's always something more I've got to add to it, a little bit more that I could have done better, or this has got to be done. So I procrastinate a lot about whether or not that's the right way to go, because am I happy with it? Will I be happy if I do it exactly that way? Is there something more I can add to it? Do I finalize that bit now, or can I do something? I'll show you a little thing that's taking me a good part of 12 months. This is basically the base of my next structure. All right, so
Hang on,
it's the workshop.
let me get you up here.
It's the workshop where they actually repair the diesels. And each one of those, I don't know if you can see it very well because he's going to roll off no matter how much I try. But each one of those equipment, machines, and everything else, I've hand built myself.
Very nice.
Um, So that's basically where I am. But the reason this has taken me a good 12 months is I don't exactly know what I want to do, what actually needs to be in it, whether I'm happy with the final outcome. I know there's one more thing I want to put in it, so I wait till I get that idea in my head. The latest idea for now is what do you find in a railway workshop that I haven't got yet, and the answer I got at the moment is racks of components and paints and storage. That's You'd find that in most workshops that do repairs of any kind. So now I've got to find a way of making those racks to the scale that I'm building on, and you can't. It's not something you can just go buy because nobody else has come up with that idea or decided that there's enough money in that to make that component and sell it out to people, because most people aren't buying it. How you going, Ralph?
Hello, I finally made it.
Yes, our esteemed co-host has arrived.
I am so sorry.
That's perfectly fine.
Before I started doing what I needed to do, of course, I get a phone call that takes half an hour. I would have been here half an hour ago if I didn't get that phone call. So, yeah.
Hey, Jimmy C, WTF Mike. How you going,
So
folks?
it's your time, Gaffa. So anything that you would like to get out there about, and it doesn't. It's behind the channel, so it doesn't necessarily have to be about the YouTube. This is something we want to do to get to know Gaffa Haynes, not Gaffa Haynes YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's very hard to separate the two, though. That's the problem. As I said, my channel has got to be more about me chatting to people than it has been about anything to do with me personally. You'll see little aspects of me. I've got 3D printer that sits here that I kick in every so often that I make a few things out of. I talk about my modelling. I do T-shirt designs and logo designs for people, and that gets put in through my live channel. It's to really see what it's all about. I don't plan my content. I just get on one day and say I'm bored. Who wants to come and talk to me? And then I've got quite a few friends that'll come up and have a bit of a chat and join me on panel, and we have a little bit of a laugh, and we get a little bit, overboard sometimes, but hey, we all have fun, and it's all a good night, and it's all a good day, and everything else. Recently, my most um, time-consuming project, as you could put it, it's not a project; it's just something that needed to be done. I have a friend who's going through some very serious medical conditions at the moment, and she's been basically taking over 80% of my spare time in either talking or chatting or dealing with things that go on with her at the moment. So that's what you'll see a lot in my live streams of recent.
Now you mentioned you had a 3D printer there. Have
Yep.
you utilized that for your
Yep.
modeling?
My main reason I got the 3D printer was to build components for my model railroad.
Oh,
That
very.
is awesome.
And I found this is actually a prototype of somebody else's design that I actually thought was really awesome, but they had actually built it to be a working power generator for the backyard.
Oh,
The only problem with this product, the stuff we use is not UV resistant. So to
oh,
stick this outside, it would just totally fall to
melt.
bits and crumble.
Yeah.
So I liked the design, so I just shrunk it down to a size that would suit my layout quite well. So now basically I have a power generator that you would put on your layout, and that's what you would expect to see these days because they're everywhere now.
Yes.
And it took me a little bit of mucking around because I'd reduced the size of it, and everything he had done with it was to normal scale for a normal generator and everything else. So, being as I reduced the size of it, it made it a challenge for me to get it to do what I wanted it to do. But
Yeah.
as you can see,
It works.
yeah,
Awesome.
I had to go find the motor that would do the speed I wanted. If I put a normal 12-volt motor on that, that would just become like a fan, and I
Oh,
didn't want
yeah.
that. I wanted it to look like it was a turbine, and that
Yeah.
would be the speed a turbine would turn on a layout of my size. So finding that with a gearbox built into it and a few other things, it was all different things that got going. So that was one of the things of 3D. Another thing I did the other day for 3D was this. Now, that doesn't look like much to anybody else, but where is it? I saw it here earlier.
Hello, Dusty. I see you in the basement, and as soon as we are finished with Gappa, we will bring you on up.
This is a towel rail holder. The problem is we like the design of it, and this is what was in our bathroom, but they're only single rail holders.
Yeah.
And so basically, in the space that we had for us, my wife and I, it was perfect to have two towel rails because you just put them anywhere on the wall and they'd take up that space on the wall. But now we've got a 5-year-old daughter; she needs to put her towel up somewhere, and they don't come in dual towel rail holders. They're all single, and there was no space to put a third. So I 3D printed this. So now I can actually run a rail from this one to there and then another rail from there out and put in a third rail in the same space we originally had two. That was
Cool.
another thing I did for 3D printing. I also did a 3D printing of all my model paints that I use for modeling, a stand to keep them nice and tidy because they're all these little things. They take up too much space otherwise if I don't do it any other way.
So on your other channel, not your Gaffer Haynes channel, because we got the notion that's just the live stream, but on your other channel, will you be integrating that and showing some people how the 3D print process works and videoing some of that?
I haven't intended to. I have shown on my live stream channel during live stream, people have asked the same question you've had. Can you show us what you do? And I've had the thing going in the background while I've been doing live streaming and showing people what comes out of it. I had a couple of friends, one in Canada, said, "Oh, I'd like that. I'd like one of those." I said, "Fine." 3D printed it to him and sent it over to him, and he's happy he's using it to do his as well. His model paints. So yeah, it's not my intention to show 3D printing. I'm not a 3D printing guru. I'm not even good at it. There's plenty of other channels on YouTube that people can get the information and the knowledge and more entertainment from than watching me sit there and swear at my 3D printer every so often because it's not quite doing what I want it to do. But it's fun. I enjoy myself, and that's all that matters. And I enjoy YouTube, so that's what I do.
Very good, very good. And we enjoy you. When I know I really like it whenever you come onto one of my panels. I really enjoy having you there. You're a very intelligent man, and you have a lot of knowledge on a lot of aspects of not just life in general, but YouTube. You're pretty well up to date on what's going on with YouTube and things like that. And
That's because I know Mike.
it's because you know. So we will ask the question. Ralph, do you have any questions for Gaffa?
I just popped in, so I don't really know what was asked and discussed before. So at the moment, no.
All
I know
right. Well,
Gaffa for some time, so yeah.
Does anybody out there in YouTube land have any questions for Mr. Gaffa? Or not a great Kenny
Put
Ralph?
your questions in the chat now.
that's right, Missy. We understand if you drop out because of storms. It seems to be a regular occurrence in America.
Yeah, absolutely, darling. If you drop out, no worries. No worries. Isn't that
There's
what
always there's always the replay.
That is true.
Always a replay.
By the way, Maine-iac, your sound volume level is slightly lower than Gaffa, or might be Gaffa just being very loud. I'm not sure. I don't know how I am compared to.
You're very loud too. So yes, he is
Okay.
slightly less.
Okay.
I am in the process of still learning how to use this thing. So does that make any difference?
No.
But Elvis, I do not live in the outback. It's very hard to define why. I have lived in the outback. I spent quite a few years living up north in the outback, as it were, when I was younger. But I live in a main city in the south of South Australia called Adelaide, which is the capital of South Australia. So no, I'm surrounded by just as much luxury and opulence as the rest of civilization basically is. When it comes to Australia, the outback is not civilization. It is basically desert and wilderness, and hardly anyone else lives out there except for cattle and crazy cattlemen. Are you fully booked for Christmas? Yes, my Christmas list is starting to get extensive, Snobby. I'm going to have to knuckle down and get the elves back to work again because they've had a rather good, quiet, cold winter here, and it's time for us to get ourselves done.
I find it very amusing that you guys have Christmas in the summertime.
Oh yeah,
Well, the
camped
date is the same. The weather is not.
Exactly.
I've camped in the Flinders Ranges, Wilpena Pound, and on the jetty down in the Gulf while I did fishing. So I don't know if that beats that, Mike. So.
Very good. Is that better, Ralph?
That is better. Yes.
Okay. I'm still learning. I had played with it earlier and turned down a knob that I probably shouldn't have turned down.
Yeah.
So very well, Gaffa. I want to thank you for coming up. I fully appreciate you coming up here on the panel and being my first guest on the special UK edition of Behind the Channels. It is very greatly appreciated, my friend.
All right, mate. It was my pleasure. Thank you very much for having me. And thank you very much, folks, for the questions.
All right.
Catch us later.
Thank you very much, Gaffa. Well, there. That was interesting. Gaff was always a good gentleman to have on a panel with you. As I said before, knowledgeable, very knowledgeable man, and just very good to sit and sit and talk to. He's one of those guys you could have a conversation with him for a long time and never talk about the same thing twice. And with that said, Welcome, Dusty
Blonde.
Blonde.
Oh, echo.
Yeah,
Oh,
I made sure I
we
didn't.
now have an echo. Oh, that's somewhat behind.
Hi, Dusty.
Hello, Dusty. I think you need to turn off the sound of the stream and not of the stream yard.
Hi. So I didn't turn the
Hello.
sound up. You all right?
Tell Snobby to fix it.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's fixed, I think. Yeah.
Is that better?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, good.
So this, folks, is Dusty Blonde. I'm sure a lot of you know her, but she is going to be a special guest on our panel today, which is absolutely amazing.
Oh, you make me blush.
Well, you can't really tell with all the lighting over there, so.
Let me go
I
ahead
know. Oh,
and
believe me, I'm going red.
which probably
Looks fine from over here.
Oh, thank you, Ralph.
there is the link for Dusty Blonde. Now we'll get her channel up. Share the screen. Click the tick. I like to talk through this so that way there I make sure I'm doing everything I'm supposed to.
No, that's all right.
I do that too sometimes, yeah.
When I go boxing, the instructor stands up there and he does the punches, and you have to say the punches like left, right, side, edge
Oh,
shot.
you do boxing? Wow.
Yeah. So it's better to talk through it, because if you talk through it, you get to do it properly.
True.
Hang on a minute. In the owl. So I'm just sorting Snobby out.
Yeah, apparently that needs to happen now and again.
All the time.
So, in your own words, Dusty,
Right.
tell us a little bit about your channel.
It's about me. Everything I get up to. I'm girly, I'm a tomboy, I'm a mum, I'm a wife. So whatever comes into it, if I'm a I won't I won't say what Snobby just said. I was about to. So it's just whatever I get up to. So I'm a bit shy. I don't like the camera much, so.
Well, I really appreciate you coming up onto panel. It's
Thank
wonderful to see you, not just the top of your head as you walk by Snobby's camera.
I know. I'm a short ass as well.
Her about section says, love Zumba, any dance class, love boxing, music, and obsessed with Madonna.
Yes.
Family and doggies.
Yep.
So we do
that sums me up. Music's my therapy. I just put the music on, blast it up loud, annoy everybody, and that's fine. Dancing is a stress reliever. I love it. So, and boxing's a good stress reliever as well.
Yes. I trained Kung Fu for about 15 years, and people sometimes think that you become more violent or more aggressive from doing like martial arts or something, but actually not. It gives you a lot of focus, and you become less aggressive usually, and less. You're agitated less quickly, and you have a more focused view on things because you get discipline and stuff. Yeah. It helps a lot.
Well, I did say to Snobby, I'd like to do MMA fighting, but only if you can get immune to punches.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't like the pain. And he said no. So
I'm looking for a particular video, and I know it's one of 3, but I can't remember when it is. And I just absolutely loved the very beginning of this video. I'm going to see if this one is it. And I'll be able to know which one it is if I read down. Let me make sure this is the right one.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, that's not the one I want.
That's not the one.
That's not the one. It's the one where you tell the gentleman to get out of your way. I love that.
Oh, I am blunt.
Yes, you was very blunt, and
Yeah.
I liked the after effect. And I'm not sure.
I see E-Waste is getting ready to go home. So that's good to hear.
Yes, very good to hear. For
He
those,
says he feels like Snobby looks.
Get better, Mike.
Yeah.
don't. Maybe I didn't comment. Maybe
I
it was.
don't know what one.
I don't
I
know
really
which
don't
one.
know. No,
We don't have very long videos in this series, so
no.
we will just see if this is it.
Some more American cars.
Oh yes, I've seen this.
I don't think this one is it though. And my computer is going wonky.
Let's see if I can get up to the fence.
Echo.
Yeah, this was the one.
That's not the one, but
Oh,
this is the one with the tractor.
that was a big steam engine. That one.
Oh yeah, that's an old one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was cool. Of course, we got a few steam engines over here, but none. We don't have anything quite as old as they do in Europe. Because everything lasts over there longer than it does here.
Yeah.
Because, if we had one of those sitting around here, nobody'd want to preserve it. They'd want to scrap it for scrap iron.
Yeah.
So I was looking for a particular video. I don't know which one it is, but I'll tell the people out there. Dusty Blonde goes up to the thing, and there's these guys that get in her way, and she says, "Don't get in front of my camera." And then she thinks what she does, and as she's walking around them, she says, "Dinks." And I lost it when I watched it. It was hilarious. And it wasn't so much as she was just doing as a matter of factly that they were dinks by getting in her way of her camera. And it was great.
I've got a big problem because I'm short. When I go out shopping, it's like people want to walk through me, and they want me to move out the way all the time. Well, I used to do that, but now I'm like, no, you can see me, you can move, and that's how I do it now. So
exactly, and it's as you should, especially if they're men.
Yeah, men and women, they're just the same.
Well, they are, but I mean, it's less acceptable for a man to not get out of a woman's way than it is for another woman.
Yeah, I think we've got so many cultures and that now, and the respect for, I'm not going to get into it too deep, but I think in every culture you've got a different aspect of respect for a woman and a man. Yeah, and I think like where we're all living together and under one roof and everything else. Someone's lurking.
and a lot of it also depends on the age of the person too. The younger generation, the newest generation of people that are, to be in their late teens and their early 20s have a stronger.
It's not your show, Snobby.
They have a stronger appreciation for the way that courtesy is given because they learned it from their grandparents. Now, those people that are now hitting their 20s, their parents who are in their, late 30s, that generation seems to don't care. They're rude and then you got the generation just above that, like myself and above, and snobby and stuff, that we grew up, we better be nice to women or we're going to get our asses whooped by our parents.
Yeah.
So,
Well, not just women, be nice to everyone. Yeah.
That's it, yeah. Be nice to everyone. Mind you, there is like a lot of youth. There is you get your bad pennies and everything, don't you? And there is a lot of youth that are polite and everything else, and then you get your bad ones that are just dragged up.
Yep.
They're just, do you know what I mean? No manners, no courtesy. So good and bad in everything.
So tell us a little bit more about the boxing. That is something that I did not know.
Can you see my knuckles?
If you move them that way,
Can you see them up?
they look
Oh.
bruised up.
A bit, yeah.
Hang on. Can you see them now?
Yes.
Yeah, there. That's from hitting the punching bag and having the skin kind of
Yeah.
tear.
Well, I've got the fingerless gloves. I've got the big boxing gloves, but they're too big. I've got the fingerless ones, and I think it's the friction burn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my teacher told me.
Because if you're actually sparring with somebody and
No, I'm punching the bag.
it was going to be like, aren't you supposed to be wearing gloves?
Yeah. No, we're punching a big bag in front of us for an hour.
Now, is this something you've been doing for quite a while, or something new you picked up?
I picked it up last year, I think, with a friend, and now I do it with my daughter. So it's called Fight Club. They have just opened up clubs in Los Angeles. So it is going to, well, one day you'll see loads of them in America. Fight Club with a K. And it's like, it's just boxing, a bit of kickboxing, all rolled into one. It's just good. It's good. It really is good. I love it.
It's good exercise.
Yeah.
Snobby pisses you off. You can go beat the hell out of a punching bag instead of him.
Yeah. No, that's right. Anyone annoys me, I could just go boxing and punch the bag.
But fair warning, Snobby, she is learning how to give a really good punch.
Well, he should know, because he used to do boxing as a kid, so he should know about it. And Zumba, I've been doing Zumba for 7 years now. I used to dance when I was a kid, stopped it when I had my children and they were young. And then I got lost because the kids are grown up doing their own thing. And I just thought, what should I do? And I've picked up Zumba and that's it. And I love it.
Well, it's always good to do something that you really enjoy.
Yeah.
For my I know I can speak for Ralph. Ralph has his metal casting that he loves.
Yeah.
Me at the moment, it's currently YouTube.
Yeah. I was just going to add, now you have YouTube as a hobby as well.
Yeah.
Or did Snobby kind of hassle you into going on YouTube, or was it something that you wanted to do yourself?
No, I never wanted to do it. I never thought of doing it, should I say. I've always had YouTube. I've got Facebook, Instagram. I've been on that for ages. But because he's done it, I just thought, right, sod him, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And that's that. But I can't video no Zumba classes or boxing classes because of other people being in it.
Yeah.
So, and I ain't going to go around the hall and ask, one boxing class, we've had 65 women in there.
Wow.
4 to a bag, all punching. So I ain't going to go and ask 65 women, is it all right to be on camera?
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure how the rules are there, but I know in the US you can videotape anywhere where privacy is not expected, meaning bathrooms, inside people's personal houses.
Yeah.
Anywhere where they may be, taking their clothes off or anything like that. But other than that, it's free reign.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But maybe Snobby could go with you sometime and just get you in there doing some punches or something like that or.
That means you'll have to get up off the sofa.
Oh. Okay.
And when I go out, that's his quiet time.
Very well.
So,
what is Zumba, or is it Roomba? No, Zumba. It's a type of exercise dancing.
It's all different dancing. It's calypso, it's reggae, it's soca, it's Latin American, all rolled into one. It started off in America, and obviously it's taken America by storm because I'm on a lot of Zumba pages and that, and now it's over here. Yeah, and it's just taken off over here. It's just an exercise class, really.
Yeah, it's over here as well.
I've heard of it. I know what it is, but I've never seen it performed or.
Oh, salsa's in it as well. I forgot that. But I have been to a few soca classes and a few Bhangra, which is the Asian dancing. I've done a few of them because I like to go around and I just love dancing. So that's it. I'll try anything.
I dance like a white guy.
I can't say what I dance like because we're on air. But yeah, so, and I do that normally twice a week, Zumba, and boxing twice a week. So, and
Hot Mess Missy is saying she's licensed to teach Zumba.
Yeah.
Old.
Yeah, it's easy. It really is easy to get your certificate. I could do it, but I just ain't got the time. And as I said, I get nervous. It's like my Zumba teacher's my dear friend. And sometimes she goes to the back of the hall and she calls me up and I have to stand. I get so embarrassed. It's unbelievable. Even though I know everybody, I still get embarrassed.
Hey, that bottle looks awesome, Maine-iac. Sorry.
Yeah, it's bottle mellow yellow and.
Yeah, it looks mellow yellow.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can get licensed to do now.
Yeah.
You know what? I can actually marry people.
There you go.
Yeah.
It was a little chorus. I had somebody that was going to get married and they wanted me to marry him. I literally got online, took this one little quick test, give them $20, and now I have a registration number. I am a minister of marriage or something like that, but I can't do ministries, but I have the right and the license to actually perform ceremonies.
Oh, that's good.
Wow.
And I do a bit of scrapping with Snobby when I can fit it in. It's not my favourite because you get dirty and you break.
Yeah, that's
your
usually a
nails.
thing for women.
Yeah, and you break your nails and you get sore hands.
Oh.
Yeah. So I do the cleaner things.
Yeah.
But I have taken apart quite a lot of different things. So
you don't strike me as the type of lady that is scared to get dirty, though.
No, I'm not.
No. But you just don't like to. Yeah.
I like getting. Well, if I'm in the right mood, then yeah, I don't mind getting dirty. But
you want to get dirty so that it washes off easily and not have to spend 6 hours cleaning out your fingernails.
Yeah, but what annoys me is I get dirty and then I come in and everyone goes, "What's for dinner?" And I'm standing there head to toe, and I just think, really,
well, so
you can ask me.
Then you
first a shower.
Then you look at him and say, when he asks what's for dinner, you look at him and say, "I don't know, what'd you cook?" That's what my wife does.
Yeah. Believe it or not, Snobby's a good cook. He really is.
I believe that, yeah.
And he's taught, over the years, he's taught me a few things. So, like, he can, and my son's a good cook as well. My daughter's getting now, but yeah, he is a good cook. I'll give him that.
Question from the audience. Bubble Fist would like to know if you have ever had to use your boxing skill in the real world, like someone being annoying or at a pub or something, like punch someone in the gut or whatever.
Truthfully,
yeah,
I tried once and my son got in the way.
Oh. Well, he immediately came to protect you.
No, to protect
the other person. The other person, yeah. Well, one of his friends hitting on you or what?
I don't want to get into it, but yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm the eldest of 3 sisters and 1 brother. My brother had problems when he was little, so I used to have to stick up for my sisters, stick up for my brother. I used to get in numerous fights. Not from me, from my sisters, so...
Yep.
It's life. I don't do it no more, though.
No, you get to a certain age, and just the thought of, you know, is it really worth me getting tensed up for somebody just doing something stupid? Nah, I don't think so, and just walk away from them. That
Yeah, but I am fiery. I've got a fiery nature. Like I do get annoyed and everything else. So that's why I go boxing. Hopefully, it'll calm me down.
and I have absolutely no problem believing that you are fiery.
Yeah.
But I've got
I would suggest for most women or many women who have a tendency to get fired up about many things to try some form of martial arts or some discipline
Yeah.
training. That helps a lot,
I
and
sleep
even
like
also for men, but for women
yeah.
especially.
Well, I sleep like a baby. Once I go
Yeah.
to sleep, that's it. I have a peaceful night's sleep after I've done an hour exercise every day. It's brilliant. My daughter loves jogging. I can't stand jogging. I don't like using the machines. I don't mind lifting weights. I haven't tried that properly yet. So, yeah, I'm an all-rounder.
All around gal.
Yeah.
Well, what I got to say is Snobby should get on his knees every day and thank God that he found such a beautiful woman.
Or did you find him?
No, he found me.
Ah.
Well, no. Well,
How
I
did you
saw
meet?
him. Do you want to know?
Well, yeah, kind of. Well, if you don't want to discuss any private stuff, you don't have to. It's not
No, it's all
mandatory.
right. It's all right.
This is all about
We
you.
was down. We was down a local market, me and my friend, and we went to wait for the bus to get back home. And he got off the bus with his friend, and I'd never seen him before, right? Even though we were in the same area, I've never seen him. I see his mate. I knew his mate, and I just bought a dress. I went home, put my dress on, and I went to my friend. Let's get back down the market. And as we got down there, he was just getting on the bus. So we got back on the bus and he asked to pinch my bum. And that was it.
Wow. Wow, you look nice. May I pinch your bum? That'll get a guy beat up over here, especially if the woman knows boxing.
Was he drinking at the time? Was he drinking at the time?
No.
No, it's over in the UK. That's not even needed.
Because I have been brave enough to do something like that before, but I was drinking.
Mm-hmm.
So.
No. No, it was only kids, so.
Very
so like that.
Very cool.
Nothing much, really. I'm not as confident as Mama Dawn in doing cooking yet. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
She makes it look so easy. When I'm out in the kitchen, I'm stressed.
Here's my take on cooking. I'm actually a really good cook, okay? But I didn't used to be until I gained the concept of what tastes good together. You got salty and sweet, sweet and sour, sweet and hot, okay? And if you deal with any one in particular or in that combination, then it's usually going to taste good no matter what it is. So you just experiment and start throwing, things together and, do like a lemon chicken with some hot peppers on it. And you got that hot and then you got that sweet, and it's a good combination. So if you stick to those three combinations, you're usually pretty good and you're not going to make a meal that tastes horrible, but sometimes you can.
Yeah.
Ever tried to make peanut butter pork chops? It is nasty.
Peanut butter pork chops.
Yeah, but they have peanut butter chicken, which is really good. And I thought, well, I'll just try that recipe, but use pork instead. Yeah, no, it does not mix.
Peanut butter chicken.
I've never had that.
Oh, yeah. We have like satay sauce over here. That's kind of like peanut butter type stuff, but there's a lot added into it.
Yeah.
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 But if you stick with that general rule and make sure it's cooked thoroughly and not overdone, you really can't go wrong. You can just start throwing in your own recipes and stuff like that. So, which I'm actually, my wife is supposed to be picking up some stuff tonight, and I'm actually going to make a video tonight of what I'm making for supper because people seem to like that. So
Yeah, that's it.
I'm not going to do a lot of them, but once in a while when I make one of my specialty dinners, I may, throw it out there for other people to try.
What's also good is duck.
I've never cooked it at home. Oh.
Oh, I actually have never cooked duck at home either, but I've had it a couple times in restaurants, and it was very good. I did try to cook a goose at home.
Uh-huh.
And I ended up not being able to pluck it correctly, so I had to skin the goose instead of plucking it.
Yeah.
And yeah, spend the $20. But if you want a good goose, folks, spend the $20 and take it to a butcher and have them do it. Otherwise, you're gonna mess it up.
Is it like duck?
No, it is and it isn't.
Yeah.
It also depends on what type of duck you had. Like a Muscovy duck is actually a red meat duck.
Right.
So, and the chicken, the goose we had was I can't remember the name of it. I know it's the goose that was first domesticated in Europe. It's the big gray goose, the old gray goose.
No.
I can't remember the name of it now, but
It's got an orange beak.
it's the big gray ones, and I can't remember the name right now.
No, I can't even know.
But and it was like it had like a little bit of a turkey flavor with the texture of like a turkey, but again, it didn't come out right because I had to deskin it, so none of the fat got down in there when you was cooking it and stuff like you should. So I try that again, doing it the correct way.
Right.
Well, most birds taste good when prepared well. Wait, what? Yeah, that can go multiple ways. I just noticed.
And you can just experiment. If you stick with the 3 things that taste good either by themselves or the ones that taste good together, then you really can't go wrong. So
no.
So,
well,
any more questions out there last night? Yeah, I'm reading Missy's thing, and so I automatically turn it right into my question. Any more questions out there in YouTube land? Anybody in the chat have any questions for Dusty Blonde? Ralph, you do know it's your job to keep putting her link in the chat, right?
Oh, right. Sorry.
Come on, Ralph.
I just did it that time. But.
Okay, yeah. Well, I actually have her channel open on this side, so actually I could, yeah. I have one more question. Any specific plans for your channel in the future? Any topics you want to put on there?
Topics. Well, I don't know. I've got a few ideas. I'm not going to say because I might not do them. But
okay.
Me and Snobby are planning on doing a joint channel eventually. So I don't know. We've got to come up with some ideas or whatever. We've got to play around with things. But yeah, other than that, I'll just do a bit of scrapping here, trips out. Might do some about my dogs. Yeah, just I don't know. Whenever I think it's appropriate to film something.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's kind of how I work. I don't plan that much, but yeah, the topic is usually metal. So
that's myself also. My videos. It's like, okay, I'm doing this. Yeah, sure, let's video.
You're giving me the elbow.
Yeah. Bubblefist would like to know if you are a natural blonde. Are you a natural blonde?
I was blonde as a baby. Yeah, I was white up until about 5, and then I went mousy brown. As I've got older, because my nan's Italian, obviously my hair's getting darker, and I've since work, because I used to do hairdressing, and that introduced me to bleach, and I just bleach my hair now. I've been all different colours. He's a pain.
Oh, he's
But no.
promoting you, so yeah.
Yeah, at least
My-
he's sticking his sticker in the window. He's sticking yours in there.
Yeah. And you couldn't see me. Says he got your sticker on the Jeep and gave you a little shout out.
Oh, thank you. I'll
Yeah.
watch the video. Thanks.
And I am very looking forward to my packages that are coming from you guys.
I have apparently stuff coming as well. More stuff even. The license plate was awesome, by the way.
Good.
I have it on top of my ingot shelf now.
Good.
I'm
Should
gonna
I
You'll
get
see it
behind?
in a future video.
I'm gonna figure out how to put mine behind me while I'm doing live streams.
Yeah.
How do you know you've got one?
Me?
Yeah.
It was my idea.
Oh, was it now?
Snobby said, "Is there anything you guys would like over there that you can't get?" And I went, and it just popped in my head because I've always wanted a UK license plate, and I went, "Yeah, a license plate."
Oh, Snobby told me it was his idea.
Oh, I just got snobby.
I'm only joking.
What is funny about that license plate is he, he talked to him and he said, Maine-iac, he said, I'm gonna have to wait a while to send you your plate because my son spelt it wrong. He only put one L on it, and
Yeah.
I'm like, my name is only spelt with one L. Snobby.
Bless him.
So,
Bless his little cotton socks.
there, snobby.
Well, everybody in the chat, I want to thank you if you have watched my videos and subbed to me. Thanks very much.
Yeah. It's going to be a competition on subscribers. You're going to get close to him pretty soon.
I know I want to beat him.
Yeah, and you probably will.
I don't like competition. He's more in for competition. He loves it. But now I'm climbing. I think, no, I want to beat him now. Just shut him up.
It has got to be fun living with him, though, I would imagine.
But I don't get as much time to sit on it like he does. So.
Yep. So, well, thank you very much for coming up, Dusty. I appreciate
All right, it's been a pleasure, Maine-iac. Thank you. And thanks, Ralph.
No problem.
All right. See you later, everyone.
See you later.
Bye, hon. Oh,
Well,
he's getting the earphones.
Oh, you're just moving over. Yeah, you could. That'll work.
Hello.
Hello.
Snobby Scrap Pickers channel now.
Yeah.
We might as well do it. Hey, we can do that. Let me move right on over. And Ralph, it's your job, but I got to find it.
I already got it, I think. Oh, no, wait. I'm still on.
Got to get comfortable first, all right?
I very much appreciate you, Snobby.
I always go to Snobby's video section because the main page doesn't have anything on it.
Yeah,
There we go.
What
That's
I did
Snobby
is-
Scrap Picker.
What I did is grab the link from his main page, and then when I get ready to show it, I switch over to videos.
Yeah.
So, Snobby Scrap Picker.
And if you haven't seen it, this is his most popular video, and a very short one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna show that video on this. On this.
No, that's why I put the link that everyone can watch it for themselves.
That is Snobby's. Now, what do I?
27 seconds. So
What's the word I want to use? It's his
creative genius.
infamous video now.
Infamous, yes.
And for anybody that may just be joining, this is not Dusty Blonde. This is Snobby Scrap Picker.
Only his beard is dusty blonde.
But it was easier for them for him to slide over than it was for her to move out. So that's okay. We are going to feature Snobby's channel now.
Oh, I'm so excited.
And this is Snobby Scrap Picker's channel. So Snobby, tell us in your own words about your channel.
Obviously I do some scrap metals. What you're seeing right now is not what it used to be. I used to have some other videos on there. I probably had as many as what you're seeing now that I deleted. Had a sort of YouTube moment of madness, which I'm sure many people as high profile as me have.
What's so funny?
You have these moments where you think, well, not that good really. I could probably do better. I'm always striving to do better. I'm no perfectionist by any means. I'll sort of make the most of what you have. That's basically what I do.
Mm-hmm.
But I have still got some of the old footage of the videos, which I'm going to try and consolidate and just do a quick flick through of what used to be up there.
Might be interesting, you know.
Yeah, just to show all my friends, what I have done previously. I mean, it's not my only interest. I suppose my biggest passion in life was fishing.
Oh, not me and the kids.
I thought you were going to say Dusty. That'll make her day.
Not quite. Have you seen her knuckles?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Yes, and I would advise you might want to. The better she gets at that, the more nicer you may want to be to her. So now you've got up a lot of stuff about scrapping, and you do a lot of mail calls, which is very awesome. I see no fishing videos, Snobby.
No, I've not actually. I've done a little bit of videoing for fishing, not a great deal, but I have. I've got many pictures, which I could do a little slideshow.
Yeah,
of that, just to show you a little bit more about myself. Yeah, I suppose I could do that. It's not a problem. Yeah.
So most of us know who Snobby is and what his channel's about. I guess the only other question I would have about your particular channel, one, Dusty just touched on it, and we know you guys are going to do a collaboration channel where it's both of you on it, but you are going to keep your individual channels also.
Yes.
Okay, because hey, collaboration is good. I would love to do a channel with my wife, but she's not in tune to the YouTube as I am, so I can get her to do her own channel. But we are individuals, so a collaboration is good, but I think you also want to maintain that, hey, this is the way I want it to go. This is what I like, not what Dusty likes. So this goes on to my channel.
Yeah. And that's some of the problems that we've already faced already. Obviously there's only going to be one director, which is obviously going to be me. What I say goes. It's pretty much that simple. No, I'm not like that at all. I mean, to be honest with you, we'll probably do all different random things. Just what married life shows you, really, I suppose.
So how about your individual channel? Are you going to keep up with what you're doing, or may you add some fishing videos? Or
well, looking at my name at the moment, which says Dusty Blonde, obviously it's Snobby Scrap Picker, right? So I've got the picking element now. Now the picker could mean a whole variety of things. It could be picking from a charity shop, a thrift store. It could be picking from a boot sale, flea market. The picker part can put you in a massive big circle of things. So especially for a YouTube channel, the picker thing is massive, absolutely massive. People that pick stuff at thrift stores to sell on eBay. You know, it just goes on and on and on. The scrap part, well, you both know what the scrap part is. It could be e-way scrap, gold scrapping, or any type of scrapping. And the snobby bit, well,
That's
pretty
you.
much, yeah, that's sort of part of London which are up themselves, if
Oh
you know
yeah.
what I mean.
Which
And I am,
which anybody that knows you knows that you are actually not a actual snobby person.
I am a million miles away from that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a bit of a fun thing. You know, I'm taking the high moral, as it were, out of it. You know, back in the day when they used to have filofaxes, you know, up the city with braces and all that. You know, they were high flying people. Yuppies.
Yuppies. Yes, those things.
Yeah, yuppies.
Yeah. He would be going crazy. Oh, Lucky Mike isn't he? He's like, yeah, Mike and Snobby, they have a very interesting relationship. Them two do. On in all honesty, if anybody ever walked, came into a channel unexpectedly and seen you and Mike going at it, they would swear to God you two hate each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would
I
be
know,
entertaining as hell, though.
I know it's not true, because I know the relationship you and Mike have, but it's actually quite a hilarious one.
Yeah.
So that's your channel. So now tell us about Mr. Snubby yourself.
Well, just adding on, you know, to part of what I am as well. You know, I'm middle aged, so I would say I'm 50 next year. So I would class myself as middle aged. But I still have a young heart, although the body ain't. But and obviously I've seen many types of characters in my life already, and I treat every single one of them differently. Yeah, it's like Maine-iac, and lovely guy, Ralph, lovely guy, and everyone's a lovely guy. E-way Smike's an absolute lovely guy, right? But I can banter off of Mike. You know, I've come across blokes that are a lot worse than Mike. You know, a lot worse. Trust me. You know, Mike, if Mike was to drink alcohol, he would be 50 times worse than what he is now.
Probably.
Yeah, so if you put that on that level type thing, you know, I've seen that all before. For someone like Gaffer, another one that I sort of banter off of. I don't get phased or anything like that. You know, I would never do it the likes of Ralph because I feel he might be a little bit. He could probably give as good as he gets, right? But I wouldn't do it to Ralph because he doesn't do it to me. And the same
No,
with you,
that's
mate.
not who I am.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right.
Our banter, we do banter a little bit, but nowhere near like you and Mike or you and
I'm not that good at it.
yeah. I am really good at it here in real life, but on YouTube it's kind of like it's a little bit harder because here I know the people. There I don't really know the people, even though I gotta say I'm probably getting to know Snobby Scrap Picker pretty good because Snobby and I spent 3 mornings together every Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Snobby is my sidekick on the coffee chat, and he is always there within minutes of me starting that stream up. He is there, so I feel I've gotten to know Snobby quite good over the last, month or so that you've been hanging out with me. And I gotta say, absolute top notch guy right there, folks. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
And-
yeah, we do pick on him about Dusty and stuff like that, but he knows it's all in good fun. And I myself have never said anything about Dusty like other people do, except that she's a very beautiful woman and he should feel fortunate. I know I do. I have a beautiful wife. I don't know how either one of us have managed that, but so yeah, so when you're not scrapping and picking or YouTubing? Is it like the fishing about your only hobby you have, or?
Yeah, apart from being Dad's taxi or Dusty's taxi, or doing something for my son, who can be very draining at times. Although he's 28 years of age, he's no longer living at home. He's moved out with his girlfriend. But you know, I could be sitting on the phone to him 3-4 times a day, 20 minutes at a time. You know, which can be. Don't get me wrong, he's my son, but you have to be sometimes cruel to be kind. Yeah, he has to listen and understand that, you know, I'm a little bit older than him, and that's where the banter thing comes in, because he is absolutely ruthless. You know, dealing with a 28-year-old who can be quite ruthless with the potty mouth. You know, he's a man himself, but a good lad, a good lad.
Yep. I'm a little bit envious. My son lives 3.5 hours away from me, and I don't get to see him as often as I would like. So I'm a little bit envious when people say, "Oh yeah, my kid's just down the road," and because I would love to see my son and my grandkids a little more often than once a month or so.
Yeah. I mean, he only lives about 12 miles away, right? Which doesn't sound a great deal to you guys. That might sound like, but it's like 100 miles for us.
Yeah.
You know, in that scale of things.
My daughter lives about 15 miles away from me, and it's the same thing. I don't see her as much as I would love to, but that's just because I'm busy, she's busy, and we get together when we can, and
Yeah.
she calls me once every couple weeks, to check in on Daddy to see how he's doing and stuff. But
Yeah.
hey, that's part of kids growing up, though. They grow up and they do their own thing. And
yeah,
we, as parents, when they hit 16, 17, we can't wait for them to hit 18 so that they go off and do their own thing. But then by the time they're 20, we're like, geez, I'm kind of missing the relationship a little bit.
Yeah. And I think also this YouTube has opened up a whole new doorway for me and Dusty to meet new people, interesting people. And you can like almost pick the people, if you know what I mean. There's some, like Granny, Granny. But you know what I'm saying, yeah? All fantastic people. You can banter off of them. It doesn't go silly. And, I mean, over the course of years, me and Dusty have fell out with family members. It happens in life. But YouTube people, 99.9% of them are fantastic. They're all here to enjoy it and embrace it.
Mm-hmm.
I am.
What I like is I'm going to utilize YouTube. I'm going to do things that, and I plan on doing it as I can afford them. I'm going to do things that my wife will love to do, but I probably will be doing it because of YouTube. Like, I actually, and this had to do with you, Snobby.
He's all Hold sideways.
On. Yeah, the phone's gone down for some reason. Technical issue.
The cable may be not precisely connected, so that when it's not on the charger, it might stop.
We still got.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, There's just got a little issue here. We'll be back in a minute.
There we go.
Oh, we got you. Oh.
No,
now you turned it around. You got the external camera.
That's it.
Do you have it hooked to a fan?
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
See, that's what I'm saying. See, we make do with whatever we have. And we've done that all our married life.
And you're doing it very well, I think.
So I was saying, I was actually thinking of you, not last night. I think it was the night before, Snobby. I was just, and I was just thinking, and I looked at my wife and I went, so what would you think about visiting England and get to see all that stuff and Big Ben and everything in London? She goes, oh, like that would be cool. And in the back of my head, I'm just like, yeah, because then I could meet Snobby.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't see the fascination of it. London is just a dark grey area. Um, there's nothing special there apart from a few monuments and stuff like that, but I don't see it.
but you
That's how I feel about most of the Netherlands.
but you live there, and that's why. I got people on YouTube telling me all the time, "Oh, I wish I could go to Maine. It's such a beautiful state," and I'm like, "Yeah." you know and that's with anybody. If you live there, it is not as exciting to you as it would be. Now, to me, part of the thing that I would like about London or England or anything like that would be the older buildings and the architecture and stuff like that, because it just fascinates me that you guys have 1,000-year-old buildings that the U.S. wasn't even a twinkle in Christopher Columbus's eye when the buildings were built. So I find that fascinating.
Yeah, buildings that looked like took 200-300 years to make. That's the problem today. We should still be doing that sort of thing today, regardless of the newer technology we have to make the stonework or whatever. We should still be making them type of buildings, not ones that are glass clad. That they're nothing, are they?
All right, ones that will last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unlike in the US, where they make everything out of wood.
Yeah.
And cardboard and stuck together newspapers, and they call it a wall.
Take that just for a second there, Ralph.
All right. Here's a question. I don't think I've ever heard you talk about it. What made you decide to start making videos and uploading them to YouTube? What was the incentive there?
Well, having a smartphone, right, and always having that app on the phone, the little red button.
Yeah.
Sat there for many years without me touching it. I've never had any form of social media ever. No Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Never had nothing. The only one I've had is eBay, which ain't a social media site.
No, yeah.
So that's the only thing I've ever had, which I have been into, dabbled into that. And then one day, I just thought I need to check this out. Maybe someone had said something to me on, oh, did you see this on YouTube? And no, not really. I don't know what it's about. So that's when I decided to have a look. And then I just started looking at videos because of the rubbish on the TV, as we all know. And one thing leads to another. And, then another. And you think, wow, there's hundreds of thousands of people out here all doing different random stuff. And I can actually remember going back to the guy, the King of Random.
Yeah.
Now, I've never mentioned this to you at all, Ralph, but I used to watch the King of Random quite regularly, but never made any comments or anything like that. His video work and editing is like top flight.
Yeah, well, they've been going for 8 years by now, I think.
Yeah, so I used to watch some of them videos. What else did I used to watch? I used to watch fishing videos. That became very popular in the UK. Guys just having the camera next to them, videoing themselves. Sort of all random things. And then the scrap started to show more. And I started to watch that and thought, you know what? I do have an interest in that as well. Which I've done since I was a toddler with the old man and my brother. Picking stuff out of bins, out of skips and, dumpsters or whatever, and making a few extra quid with it. Because it is a way of getting when you're a youngster and there's not a great deal of money around, which there never was when I was a youngster, you know, you could earn a little bit of money. You know, it weren't a great deal, but if you was to go and collect all the cans, yeah, you used to be able to return a glass bottle, you know, and find aluminium and find sinks, stainless steel sink tops and brass taps. And, you know, that's been there since I was little. So I've always grown up knowing the value of it, although that's gone up and down over the years. And right now it's lowest ever, I reckon. It's still a little bit of pocket money.
I can
And that's
remember.
what it was.
I can remember when I was a teenager, and I'll say it this way on purpose, Ralph. But you know, aluminium was close to $1 a pound to turn it into a scrapyard, and now it's what, 30 cents? Or
Yeah,
something.
it was in euros. It was 125 at some point in euros. I remember.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now it's 30 cents a kilogram. Yeah.
A kilo.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cans though, cast aluminium is like 75 cents a kilogram. So if I actually melt them, turn them into ingots, and turn those in, then I get more. But then I'm still losing on all the costs of all the coals and the energy and the time and
Yeah. And on that note, Ralph, if you ever do take them muffins or little ingots to the scrapyard,
yeah,
the first thing they're going to say to you is no, right? And then you're going to say, yeah, but it's aluminium. And they're going to say, 1 second, let me go and get my radar gun.
if they have one, yeah.
If they have one. If they haven't got one, they probably won't touch it at all. Then they want to test the aluminium, right, to see what chemical makeup it's got, because obviously there's many different types of aluminium.
Yeah.
Right. So when they realise, oh, that's got a little bit of this in it, it's got a little bit of that in it, that's just cast aluminium then.
Yeah.
You know, and they might still not take it. I mean, I had a guy at a scrapyard take one of my ingots and said, I need to test this. Okay, no problem. So I've come away. But I said, how long is that going to take? He said, about a week. Okay. A week went by, never heard nothing. He's got 7 kilo ingot of my aluminium. So I ended up ringing them again, and I got pushed around a little bit. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Eventually, I had to go back down to the scrapyard where they'd cut my ingot in half, right? There was no air bubbles. It was just solid, yeah?
Yeah.
But then they come out with that spiel about they put the radar gun on it, and it was a complete mix of aluminium, which was correct. I'm not going to lie about that. And at the time, they offered me 80 pence a kilo for it. So I thought, you know, that's it. It's gone. Take the lot.
Yeah.
I'll have the 80 pence. But I did have about 260 kilo in blocks. So, you know, it weren't that bad.
Yeah. Well, when I was at the scrapyard, I showed them my little muffin that I made. I said, I melt these from just cans. How do you take these? Do you take these? They said, yes, you get normal cast aluminium price for it, which was 75 cents a kilogram back then. That was a couple of months ago. But yeah, I'm just going to be using them for my projects anyway, so I will probably not be turning them in. If at any point I might really need cash or stop the whole project or the whole metal casting, I'll just get rid of them, take whatever I get, and don't care.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure that will ever happen.
And I'm sure it's actually connected with some criminal activity that took place in the UK and probably took place in many countries.
In the U.S., they had a problem with people melting down metals and putting other metals that were heavier inside of them. So
Yeah.
it was a problem of people trying to cheat the system. And
yeah, this wasn't that. You know what the beer is stored in, like the aluminium kegs.
Yeah.
You know, the aluminium barrels. Well, that is a real high grade aluminium, and they were sort of chopping them up by their thousands and melting them down into much bigger ingots, like, you know, forklift ingots. You know, you need a forklift to lift them up. big scale, and you know, a lot of them was going missing and that, like, you know. So I think that's had a knock-on effect.
I'm not sure about anything like that here, because I know here, if you order a keg of beer, you actually have to give them a deposit for the actual keg that it's in.
Yeah,
So if you decide to keep it, it's yours, because you essentially have paid for it, and therefore you have the right to do with it whatever you want. If you want your $50 back, then you take it back to them.
Yeah.
So, although I don't drink beer, so I personally have never bought a keg. Yeah, actually,
same here.
party.
Yeah.
But very well. That is cool. And with that, we are reaching up the hour and 45-minute mark, and I'm gonna call that pretty much good.
100 minutes, it says. So yeah.
100 minutes. Yep. I'm going to call that pretty much good for our first ever Behind the Channels special UK edition. I think we're going to try this out for a few weeks and see how it goes. And it seemed to be pretty good. We maintained around 15 to 19 people in here.
I saw 20 at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it probably went up when I appeared, you know.
Yeah.
Actually,
Exactly.
I did see that, and it went up when Dusty was on, and it dropped when you got on.
Anyway,
That's just because, admittedly so, she's prettier than you are.
You're brilliant.
Oh,
That's all. She's prettier than you are. That's why when I do the regular show, you know, I had Missy as my main co-host, and when we had JJ, there wasn't quite as many viewers, but it was simply because Missy's much prettier, and unfortunately, a lot of people look for that. And pretty lady.
Well, they see the thumbnail, and they see a nice blonde woman in the thumbnail, and they think, click.
Yep.
So it's basically clickbait.
So now I don't have that in my thumbnail.
right. Well, if I could just take this opportunity to thank everybody that was in the chat for watching Dusty and myself, and I'd like to thank Ralph. And I'd like to thank you, Maine-iac, for allowing me to jump up here. I mean, I know I've pushed my way in a little bit, you know. I do get rather excited. You know, obviously I'm not frightened of the camera and, you know, that sort of thing. In fact, I quite like being centre of attention. But yeah.
It was an absolute pleasure, Snobby. And you as well, Dusty, and along with Gappy, if he's still out there watching. It was a pleasure to have you up on the show. I really appreciate it. There's Dusty.
There they are.
Well, see, now that right there would have been a perfect screenshot for somebody.
Yeah.
Who did that?
What was that?
Do that.
Oh,
the heart.
we're trying.
How does that work?
Yeah.
It's great, and I think everybody agreed. You guys absolutely make a wonderful couple, and
two of the most generous people I know on YouTube. They spend so much time, effort, and money into sending stickers and gifts and stuff all over the place to people they actually don't really know.
Don't tell anybody that. We don't want Snobby to feel obligated to send out stickers.
He's not obligated. He just does so. The first sticker I ever got was from Snobby, and I didn't even know Snobby back then.
Yep, I think it's going to be my first sticker I get too. So,
yeah.
Thanks, guys.
So, alrighty. Thank you very much for coming up. I really do appreciate it. And for the next few weeks, at least, you can look forward to a Behind the Channels UK edition.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Snobby.
Later.
Dusty, how do we get off of this? I can't use my phone.
You click the button.
No, it's not like my phone. That's it.
Oh, it's an iPhone.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. Awesome. And there you have it, folks. That has been the special UK edition of Behind the Channels. We're going to try to tweak this out over the next, tweak. We're going to try to tweak this over the next few weeks and see what we can do. I feel anybody that is currently in the audience, you don't need to go back and watch the full live stream, but please do go back and click on the comments and give us any comments on things that you think that we could do any better to help improve it and to help make this a better channel for our UK viewers, and that would be greatly appreciated. Anything to finish up there, Elf?
Sorry I was late. This was fun, and this might work as a earlier stream for the other side of the pond.
Yep. And
So,
for anybody that may be asking, Ralph is considering, because I have offered it to him, to end up being the host of Behind the Channels UK edition, because he is technically in the UK, correct?
The Netherlands, not technically the UK, in the EU.
He's
maybe you should change it to European edition.
I could do that
instead of just UK.
But he's over there, so he is considering. It's entirely up to him that if it becomes something that he may end up being the actual host of the show, and I may co-host it, or he may choose another co-host. We are unsure. That is still in the works because we don't even know how it's going to go yet. So
we will see.
We will see. And with that in mind, I want to bid everybody a good day over here in the US and a good evening over there in the UK. And I hope everybody has a wonderful whatever is left of their day. Goodbye.
I'm alone.